Hi, I'm Lee Iridium. Hope you're doing all right today. It's album review time, but before I get into that, I just want to say a massive thanks to the band Frozen Tears, who sent me their CD that came out last year, Brazen Whisper. Absolutely superb this. You can actually catch my review of this, and I think I'll put it in the link below so you can catch out my review of this album. Like I said, came out last year. Brilliant Australian band. Some great things coming out of Australia at the moment. If you want to relate this to any sort of other bands, there's all the track listing there on the back. I would say if you love a bit of Dokken, you would love this band. That lovely little fold out sleeve there. Brilliant. There's the band. That's John Powers, the guitarist there, and the main member of the band, songwriter. So, yeah. Thank you very much for that. Also sent me a t-shirt as well. I haven't got it on me at the moment, but thank you very much with that on it as well. Absolutely brilliant t-shirt, an excellent CD. So thank you very much to the band for that. Check out that. It's available everywhere, not just on CD, across all streaming platforms as well. So absolutely brilliant album. Thank you very much. So Spitfire, Denial to Fall. So, this is the third album from the band. They've been going a long time, since 1987 their first album came out. They're a Greek band. They've been actually around since 1984. And you're probably thinking, you know, third album, 1984. There's been a lot of trouble the band have had through the years. The most trouble they had was their lead singer had a really serious car accident, their first singer. So he couldn't carry on with the band, so they've been through some changes and stuff. They changed their name as well at some point, but now they're back with this third new album. So this came out actually in January, the 21st of January, where you could buy it, physical product, and I think you could stream it directly from the band. But now it's available across all streaming platforms just last Friday. So this on No Remorse Records, this has come out on. Now, I reacted to two of their songs when they came out, and man, I loved them. Check out those reactions. Absolutely superb singles, and I was thinking, is the rest of this album going to be as good? Well, let me tell you now, it's not just good, it's probably better than those singles, and I love those singles that came out. This band is heavy. They're for fans of Accept, Judas Priest, Metallica, especially. It's a big Metallica influence for me, I think. They're a traditional metal band, if you like, but with some modern elements as well. They inject some modern elements, but if you know, it's real stuck in that sort of traditional metal, but the production is huge. The guitars sound massive, they sound chuggy, meaty, just how you want a guitar to sound. This is a heavy album, guys, but it's in no way extreme metal or anything like that. This is absolutely classic metal singing throughout. There's no like extreme metal, there's no shouting. This is right up my alley, this. I absolutely love this album. Already it's one of my favourites of this year, without a doubt. So being a Greek band, I'm not going to go for their surnames. Sorry, I know you'd love me to and embarrass myself, but I'm just going to say their first names, which is probably going to be hard enough for me anyway. So as I run through this band, let me tell you how good they are as well. So you've got the bass guitarist Nikos and the drummer George. That's quite easy to pronounce for me. They are brilliant. There's some pounding rhythms on this throughout this album. It's a bit relentless. There's some double kick drum used at times, mainly straightforward without the double kick, but when it's used, it's really effective. The bass is real heavy in the mix. It's really sort of metallic sounding. I love the sound of the bass on this. The drums sound huge. Sometimes drums are lost now in production, in modern production. It's not here. It's not forgotten at all. This is a heavy rhythm-based album. Absolutely fantastic. On the keyboards, you've got another George. So keys are used. He's more like, apparently, I read up a bit about this album. This other George on keys is used more as a special guest. And you sort of hear keys throughout the album now and again. Maybe I counted about 3 tracks. but they're not heavily used. This is a metal album, so they're sort of more for effect, I would say, than anything, an atmosphere. But they're great when they're used. They're absolutely great, and it sort of makes a sort of a nice reprieve from the heaviness sometimes to have a little bit of a keyboard sound. But very cool playing by George. On the guitars, you've got Panos and Elias. Man, there's some brilliant playing on this. This is real riff heavy. It's chuggy. It's meaty. Like I said, the sound of the guitars is brilliant. The solos are outstanding. They're very technical, this band, but also so melodic. But I mean, it is real riff heavy, guys. Your head will be going all the way through this album. And then the vocalist is Tassos. Man, what a brilliant vocalist. And I was trying to think as I was listening to this album, he sounded like someone a little bit. I would say in the lower range, he's got a bit of a James Hetfield feel to his voice. But also apart from that, the lower range, he can reach some real heights. He does some great screaming on here. He can sing at range, like I said. He's got a powerful, sort of aggressive voice. But like I said, never, this isn't extreme metal or anything. It's aggressive as in classic metal aggressive voice. And he sounds fantastic. And like I said about a few singers before, this guy, he pours everything into his vocal performance. Every little bit of feeling he's got, every little bit of aggression when needed, he just gives it his all. He is an outstanding vocalist. This is one of the vocal performances of the year for me. I love his voice. And also, like I said, you've got that Hetfield sort of feel to it on the lower range. But the heights, I mean, James Hetfield would never sing like that and scream at height. This guy can as well, to bring back that sort of nostalgic 80s feel as well. So I do run through my favourite tracks when I do a review now. I'm going to run through every track because this is an outstanding album. There's no weakness on this album through any track. Let me tell you that now. So we got the first track, Stand and Fight. After a very short, heavy intro, it goes into a sort of fast riff. This is where you get some synth touches, but they take nothing away from the heaviness of the riffs that are really heavy. The fast verses go into a brilliant half-time chorus. Almost gives you sort of a more of a modern touch with that half-time chorus, with some crushing riffs. Absolutely brilliant opener. The metal feel that you get on this track is just outstanding. The second track is Wasted. This was a single. I reacted to this one. Superb song, chuggy riffs start off, and it goes into a sort of fast-paced track. It's energetic and heavy. The vocalist, as he does all over this album, giving everything into his delivery, like I said, an absolutely outstanding performance by him. Next up is another single, Denial to Fall.
It's my denial to fall.
So the title track. Whereas the first two tracks are a little sort of more modern, this one feels a bit more old school to me. Medium paced track. Sort of sometimes sounds like a energetic, attitude filled Metallica. Absolutely superb song, a brilliant soaring chorus that tops off an excellent mid-paced metal track. Next up we have Unholy. This is the longest song on the album, 6 minutes and 21 seconds. You get like a Queensryche-esque riff over another excellent galloping riff this time. It just kicks this song off superbly. The gallop is so fucking heavy as it comes in and out of sort of some clean guitar. And this is a highlight for me of an already brilliant album, this song. I love this song. There's a real epic feel to it. There's a great change up in the midsection that sees the song not change pace that much, a little bit, but gets heavier before returning to that excellent gallop that we hear at the start of the track. What an outstanding highlight of the album. Ready to Attack is next. This is more traditional sounding metal, but with those great modern production making it ultra heavy. A great solo section that sort of slows the pace a little. It's another excellent relentless pounding track. Next up is On My Own. This is a medium paced song. Those Metallica vibes coming through a little again here. as they slow things down slightly with this one. This one has some slightly metal blues tinged riffs. I think that's sort of what reminds me of Metallica sometimes. That's what sort of gives me those vibes in this band. Next up, track 7 is Many Lies. Excellent song, brilliant mid-paced chugginess continues. This is real headbanging stuff, guys. The metal groove is here in full force. Some synth touches again on this one, but they are few and far between on this album. Like I said, this is a pure metal album, first and foremost. An excellent track. Naked Fire is track number 8. Another brilliant track. Sees the band give us some heavy doomy riffs in between the excellent traditional metal, but they deliver everything so well and so tight and so heavy. And the last track, there's only 9 tracks on this, guys, so it's over a bit too quick for me, but that's all I could say. It's the only negative thing I could say. I wanted more, but that's a good thing as well. Wanting more for the next album these guys are going to bring out, I suppose. Hopefully not as long as the last one. And this track's called Back to Zero. Man, what a great track. It's a little bit faster, this one. The speed is slightly picked up with a faster chuggy track. A head-banging track again with an excellent stop-start chorus with gang vocals to give you more of that nostalgic traditional metal feel. Man, this has got melody all over it, but the heaviness continues all over this album. This is a outstanding album. I mean, I'm rating the songs on this. I keep the ratings to myself to give me an idea, you know, what are my favourite tracks, and they've all got high ratings, these tracks. I think every track had something to love. This is a real outstanding album, and I think it's definitely, I know I've been saying it a bit, going to make my list of best albums of the year. This is highly recommended, guys, for those of you who like their traditional metal to be heavy with a modern production, soaring vocals at times, screaming, but melody all over this album. Every chorus is catchy. By the end of the song, it's cooked you in. Absolutely superb. Check this album out, guys. Spitfire, Denial to Fall, available everywhere. This is recommended, guys, and I'll see you soon.